in front of a judge until Monday morning.
You stole a police car.
We didn't steal anything. We found it.
If anything, we deserve a reward or something, like a trophy.
But they'll tell me Monday morning in the
and
production
like,
meeting.
How did it happen? When did it happen? And we'll be like, well, it happened on Thursday. But
I see like you every day.
Every day.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Yeah. Woo!
Let's steal a cop car because it'll be really funny.
Yeah. Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here.
Not up in here.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we see.
have you seen the crowds at the Vatican?
Yeah, they haven't been that big.
Well, define that big. What are we thinking? NFL draft big? What are we thinking?
Yes.
200,000 people big?
Yes. I mean, it's sporadic. It's not crazy. You thought it was big?
I think it's strange that there are people standing outside waiting for some smoke to be, puff, puff, puff from the chimney. That's strange. I understand it's tradition and whatnot, but it's still bizarre.
The smoke?
Yeah, the smoke. The smoke is the bizarre part. Yep.
Well, I know Joshy's on my side. I think we should communicate more with smoke.
Listen, where was I yesterday? Where they were definitely communicating with smoke.
Smelling some pot.
Oh.
Where was I yesterday? Where I was
They're
like,
burning leaves in May.
Woo! Maybe
Here's the thing.
They communicate with smoke more than you think, is what I'm trying to
Let
say.
me ask you guys a question. Are you big on the pop-in? Are you big on the pop-in?
No, not
You
a
know what the
pop-in
pop-in
fan.
is?
Yeah.
Yeah, people just show up at your house randomly.
Yes. I
No,
don't
it's a
know a lot of
pastry. You
people
put
that
it in
are.
the toaster. You drop the
Isn't that a
toaster down.
popover?
Yeah, why are those called popover? That's so dumb. It should be.
Those are
croissant.
Pop-Tarts, I think.
I don't care. So back to the smoke. So at the lake house, people have a tendency to just pop in because we're kind of a central place. Everyone likes to hang.
Oh, so popular.
So
Cool guy.
our sign now is to put the bug screens down and enclose the back patio, and that says stay away. But it affects our view to the lake, which we don't like to do. Okay? Now, we thought about a light, but I really don't want to be associated with swingers. Okay? Because there is a light for that. And there's a good story if you guys, well.
There's a light
save that
for
one
that?
for another
I've heard
day.
of the flamingos and the upside-down pineapple.
Wait, what?
Yes, the upside down pineapple and, well.
Where do you put it? In the
Well,
yard?
Some people put it in their grocery cart when they're shopping, and they walk around with it, and it is supposed to signify that.
Well, here we go.
I'm learning all sorts of
I've
things.
listened
There's
to some
another,
podcasts.
there's a certain color blue light that if you turn it on wherever at your house means the party's on.
It's a swinger light.
You've never heard of that
I've
before?
literally
I've
never
never
heard
heard
of
of the
this
light.
at all.
So then Google this one because, and Frankie Winters told me this one. So at the lake house, I have a huge white rock to mark the driveway, and I had the kids' hands when they were little dipped in paint and put on the rock. Kind of cute, right?
Yeah.
So the handprints kind of faded off, so it's just a white rock. So Frankie was coming over for a week, and he goes, you know what that white rock means at the end of your driveway? I'm like, no. He's like, Google it. So I Google it, and I'm like, So then I went out there with 5 cans of spray paint and painted the rock the colors of each of the schools my kids went to.
Are you going to tell us what the white rock stood for?
Means you're swing bing.
What the heck? Swing bing?
Google it.
Swing bing?
So then Angie comes home, sees the rock, and is ripping mad at me.
You said.
Because she's nostalgic.
Frankie told me.
And she was like, why did you cover the handprints up? And I'm like, Google white rock and you'll stop yelling at me. She's like, oh, okay, good move.
I got a lot of questions. I'm trying to hold them. I'm trying to lock them up in my brain, but they're just going to come out. So question one.
Yeah.
You think that your communication methods are known around the lake? You think that it is universally known at the lake that when your bug screens are down, you guys are not welcoming guests, but when the bug screens are up, you guys are welcoming guests. You believe this, yes?
Yes.
How did that become your mode of communication? How did that become your language of yes, come over, don't come over?
Because when the screens are down, there's no way to get into the patio where we're at.
Sure, but you said it blocks your view. So you're telling me that when you first started doing this, you didn't notice that it blocked your view and say maybe we should switch early on to something else?
Yeah, but, I mean, can you tell people if white smoke's coming out of the fire pit, then don't come over?
How did you tell people about the screens?
They didn't.
They just...
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff. At least, here's the thing. With the Pope, we know. We know how the smoke is puff, puff, puffing,
Yeah.
and then if it changes color, all of a sudden, boom, we got a new Pope. Like, that is universally known. You can't be out here talking a language that nobody knows what it means. So I think you got to establish with your lake goers what
Yes.
means party's on and what means party's off.
That's
Well,
why
then
I
what do
said
we-
smoke.
Yeah, but then I got to light the fire, and it's just a lot of
that
work.
seems
There's
so-
got to be something similar.
That seems perfect in terms of, hey, if you see the bonfire going, now we're not doing the signaling with the smoke, but it is still somewhat of a smoke signal. If you see the bonfire going, pop on in. If it's not running, we're not welcoming guests. I think that's a good way to establish it.
Yeah, but I still want people over sometimes when it's crappy out, and I'm not going to have a fire if it's crappy. There's got to be a better signal. Can't be a light, can't be a rock, can't be the bug
Why don't you
screens.
just get a different colored light?
I think the
How
light
about a
is the
flag?
answer.
How about a flag?
Flag
Just
is a good one, too. Yes.
I got a flagpole right there.
Absolutely. This is the solution.
What,
I think you're right.
What sort of flag? Like just a margarita? You just hang it
No,
over?
I got the American flag and then the Italian Angie's on top of the pole lock.
Okay, I don't know that we should be using heritage and whatnot.
Well, I'm just saying.
But I like Josh's idea. You can buy cheapo flags with weird decals, weird
Yeah,
logos
sure.
on them anywhere. I like the margarita one. And then I like we could come up like a porcupine or something that means, stay away. A stop sign. I don't know. Easy peasy. But something where you just hoisted up the flagpole and then people
That
know.
means, but if the flag's not there, then there's no party. So the porcupine wouldn't work. It'd have to be, give me a party flag. What's a party flag? Mardi Gras?
I mean, that's
There's
why
gotta be a Mardi
I said
Gras
with
flag.
The margarita, you could have. I mean, you could hang your favorite type of alcohol, like the branded flag. Like if you have one, like say, for instance, like a
wine?
Drinking Buds, you could fly that. Like they have those
Ooh.
type of flags that you could just. You just have to
Where do you
be
get
on
'em?
top of it to remove and put it back up every time you are welcoming guests or not.
I kind of like that.
First of all, you can have any flag made. You can have a personalized photo flag. So you could do anything.
Oh, the blammer.
Oh, that would be wonderful. The blamer, the picture I showed you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going
Oh.
to, on principle, say no because I don't think any more people should be exposed to that photograph,
It
let
might
alone
serve as a
the
deterrent.
whole damn lake.
You know what? I'm a little tired of the rules this station has. Because I want that out on the station X account or Twitter or whatever it is. And we also got news yesterday, which I can't tell anyone, which I think is just absolute garbage.
But we told you when
Why
we
so
told
many
you that
rules?
you can't tell
I didn't
anyone.
hear that part.
I
didn't hear
definitely
that
heard
part.
that part. And in my mind, I go, it's not going to happen.
My first thought was maybe we should have just let him find out when everyone else does.
Yeah, I don't know why I was on the call. That was just, it's rookie move by Brian D. and Ashton.
Okay.
I mean, what are you doing?
So I'm looking here, and you can make a personalized house flag with any picture you want. Add your design here. Chew. They've got sailboats. These are all ideas that you can. It's sailboat, sunset.
Jen,
yeah.
the decision's already been made.
I was worried that was the case. You're
It's
going to put
already
the
been made.
blammer on a flag.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I? And you know what? He would kind of like it. I mean, the man's had a drink named after him. You don't think he wants that picture flying high?
He's topless in the photograph.
How do you
Well,
think
he's
his
almost
wife would feel
bottomless,
about
too.
The flag?
He's bottomless too, he said. Wait, can I just tell a quick topless story?
Sure.
Sure.
Is it in Dubuque? Does it have anything to do with Dubuque?
It doesn't. But yesterday, you guys, I went on a field trip to the museum. Tell me if you know where this is going.
No.
I've got the 4Kers, right? I got five 4Kers wandering around. We're wandering around the museum. We get up to Africa.
Yeah.
You know, all the panoramas.
Yeah.
And the girls are like, "Why is everyone naked?" I said, "Well, it's very hot in Africa." I said, "You know how you like to wear your bathing suit in the summer because it's hot, you know? That's basically what they're doing in Africa." Those poor little girls saw more
Boobies.
Genitals.
boobies.
That's pretty sad. That
One little girl was like, "Why are they so pointy?" I was like, "I'm out. I got nothing here. I got nothing for you."
the good old days. National Geographic and the Sears catalog.
Sears catalog.
Oh yeah. People my age know about the Sears catalog. Gosh, I'm just saying. We didn't have
He's
everything
talking
at our
about
disposal that they do today.
The lingerie section.
Yes. All right, I need to pull something quick.
Yep.
Are husbands obligated to get their wives Mother's Day presents?
Yeah.
Why?
Do
You're
we
not
need
our
to pull
mother.
that?
Speaking of boobs, I saw a post on Instagram that said, "If my boobs have been in your mouth, I expect."
Come on, I don't think we can say that.
I expect a Mother's Day present.
What does that have to do with Mother's Day? Although Angie does need a new strapless bra, she said. I wouldn't even know where to
What
begin
does it
there.
have to do? She's using it as criteria for who has to get her a present. So yes.
Josh, what's your vote?
Do you have to get your wife a Mother's Day gift? Yes.
Why? I don't understand why. She's not my mother.
She's the
I
mother
already
of
got
your
your
children.
Yeah, but I got my mother a gift already. I
Yeah.
just don't. I don't. I think you're going to have more people on my side than you think.
Don't think so.
I can't.
Because we were having this discussion last night at dinner. Because Father's Day is just an afterthought, right?
I mean, for some families.
Josh, Father's Day is not celebrated as hard as Mother's Day. Would you agree with that statement?
I don't know. I think it's the same.
I don't want to do this morning.
Why?
Because moms do a lot, dude.
Oh, I know. I have no problem with that. I don't even need a Father's Day.
You seem to have a
really.
problem.
He does. You're telling us how it's not equitable.
Well, it doesn't have to be. I don't know.
like
I'm
what
just
you're
saying
arguing
because
for.
I'm like, what the hell do I get Angie for Mother's Day? And she's out on lawn trash, which I don't mind lawn trash. Lawn trash doesn't bother me.
What are you even talking about, lawn trash?
Josh,
I don't know.
you don't know what
I
lawn trash
imagine
is?
just things you put in the yard.
Like gnomes and concrete things and
gnomes
bird
and
baths
Mother's Day?
and lights that light up.
Oh my goodness, we have people on the YouTube stream. Nick says the husband gets something for their mother, not their wife. Nick,
Thank
how
you.
old are your children? If they're under 16, guess what? The gifts are going to, be clay made from kindergarten or little flowers made of construction paper. Like, you got to get the mother something. You got to. This isn't even me as a mother being like, for all
hold on,
mothers.
Jen. Are you getting the mother something on behalf of the kids? So you're getting the mother something and saying, here, this is from Sally and Joey.
Wait.
I'm just asking.
From the husband's side or the male side of it, the father side, aren't you just saying thanks for all you do?
Correct. Yeah.
Seems pretty straightforward
Thank
to
you,
me.
Joshy.
So a card
and
is
the
sufficient?
same happens on Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's reciprocal. Maybe you go to brunch more often.
I think it's like this household would not thrive
That's
without
true.
all of the
It's-
contributions from you,
very true.
mother, wife.
Yes.
All right, I'll get her son. Jeez.
I mean,
gross.
the thing is, you could give flowers.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on
No,
flowers.
she doesn't like flowers. She's
Do
anti-flower.
you not like flowers either?
So my
I
rule
love
on
flowers.
flowers is this. Do you think he wanted to know if you love flowers, Chew?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm already crying so much. My eyes are itching so bad. Is there a pollen thing happening right now? Because I am in trouble. Here's my thing with flowers. If you get your wife flowers, make sure that you cut the stems and put
Yes.
them in a vase. Do not hand your wife more work by handing her a cellophane bag of flowers that you grabbed at the grocery store, right? Do the extra step of taking it out of the bag, snipping off the ends, filling the vase with water, putting it in the vase, put it on the counter.
I'm going to be honest. I knew that because I've been trained for that. But I think a lot of men, the first time they heard that they need to be cut is right there, right when you said that.
Yeah.
So that was a great PSA to some places you can go, though. And, I mean, they'll just don't do and I don't want to discourage people from getting flowers, but go to a place that does it for their whole job. A florist. They can have
But
a
they're
nice...
more expensive.
For their whole job.
Right.
What he's saying is not Walgreens.
Right.
Or CVS.
What about Amazon?
Flowers from Amazon?
Oh, I've done it before.
You can get flowers on Amazon?
No idea.
Yes. I just did it for a funeral.
Huh.
Yeah. Because they want like $110 if you go with the funeral home's florist, and I got them on Amazon for like $28. Now, granted, it's not as nice, but I
I'm
mean, I
glad.
think it's the thought that counts,
Wait.
right?
Let me ask you a question. Is it the thought that counts when you're the gift recipient?
See, then there's a problem.
Hold on. At what level would somebody's death be worth $110 versus only $28? How do you determine what type of flower to get?
Yeah, you're right. And it was my godfather. I kind of chose there.
Jeez. You couldn't spare a couple extra shekels for the guy?
I had to pull my contact lens out. It was killing me. Pulled it right out. Good Lord. Ouch. Now I can't see Joshy out of my left eye because I am absolutely blind, but it feels so much better. All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I'm glad we got to whip around a little bit. We started with the Papal Smoke. We got to a Blammer flag, and now we're
Yep.
talking about it's the thought that counts, except when I'm receiving the gift.
We're fresh. We're all loose.
Jason Wilde coming up next. Let's talk to Jason Wilde right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We have a little pocket of heavy traffic coming up northbound 4394 from just about Lincoln all the way up to the base of the high-rise bridge. And then continuing northbound from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound 41, you got your backups from before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down starting just before Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, lots of sunshine, breezy at times, a high of 52 at the lake, 60 inland. Tonight, clear and chilly, frost inland, a low of 38 at the lake, 33 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Summer's getting closer, and Brewers action at American Family Field is only heating up. Don't miss a Midwestern throwdown between the Brewers and the Twins, May 16th through the 18th. Get a Jedi Jackson Churio Star Wars Night bauble with a special theme night ticket on the 16th. Then get here early for an exclusive Brewers cribbage board giveaway for the first 25,000 fans on the 17th. Presented by 620 WTMJ. Get tickets at brewers.com.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm going to try to power through here, but I am playing injured. I am blind, just so everybody knows. If I don't have my contact lenses in or my glasses on, I cannot see. And y'all saw in the last segment, if you were watching on the YouTube stream, my left contact lens just started to go haywire on me. I was laughing at Chewy. My eyes started to fill with tears, and the rest is history. And now I can't see out of my left eye. You could argue, what do you need to see for to talk on the radio, Jen? Excellent point by you. But I'm trying to keep you posted here on the situation. Let's bring Jason Wilde in. I'm sure having another voice is going to help me get through this. Good morning, Jason. How you doing today?
Does this make you like Lisa Left Eye Low?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Jen Left Eye Latta?
Exactly. It's exactly right. Might burn down a house later. Who can tell? Who can say? That was Andre Rison, right? That was his house?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes. Would it be Chewy's, Gabe's, or Josh's?
Well, it's not mine. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not going to burn down my own house. We were just talking about Mother's Day, Jason. Obviously, it's right around the corner. Hopefully, most guys have got their Mother's Day gifts procured, if you will. But we actually had some people who said that you don't have to buy your wife a Mother's Day gift because she's not your mother. Where do you stand on that?
I would disagree, although as our girls have gotten older, I've become more of a gift facilitator, helping them put together whatever gift basket they each want to do for Paula. So I guess I'm a little bit in the middle, but back when they were little, I was definitely getting Paula Mother's Day gifts. I guess maybe sort of on their behalf. But I love Mother's Day, man. We always make her breakfast, and it's a big holiday in our house because we got a pretty good one.
Jason, what's going on with Jair? I've seen reports San Francisco's interested. I hear reports that they're close to getting a deal done. What's your gut telling you?
Yeah, I see those same reports. I've said this, I feel like 1,000 times now. My feeling is that everybody needs a fresh start. and staying together for the kids is not necessarily the right move. I just don't see this as a happy marriage. And so, if the Packers are like, well, we're not going to find anybody else, and Jair's going to be like, well, I'm not sure I'm going to find a better situation than this, and this one isn't that great, and they stay together for that reason, I don't love that. Now, again, I can tell you without a tiny little piece of doubt that there was frustration in that building for a lot of people last year. This year had started off so well and was so different than 2023 with him. So I don't know how that just all goes away. Maybe it's convenience, maybe it's need, whatever it might be. I don't rule anything out at this point, but all along I felt like of the three options, trade was the most likely scenario.
Sounds like we lost Jason.
Jason,
you back?
I'm coming up on Sun Prairie. I don't know how you guys get up so early in the morning, by the way. I am struggling. Yes, Bristol. Apparently the Sun Prairie Bristol exit needs better reception.
Sounds like you're back.
I don't know what the last thing is that you heard, but the bottom line for me is if you're asking me which of the three scenarios is most likely, trade, release, or reconcile, I still believe it's release.
Jason, is there a timeline on this thing? I know that it feels like we are belaboring the Jair point, but man, if it could just get taken care of, I feel like it would relieve a lot of pressure. We're going to talk a little bit later in the show about what is the position that each team needs to address the most or still needs to address or is the biggest hole or however you want to designate it. And I think we're sort of debating between defensive line / edge and cornerback, in part because of the Jair situation. So do you see this getting resolved soon, or are we still a month out?
God, I hope so. Look, there's a reason why I asked LaFleur, publicly if Jair was taking part in the on-field work at the off-season program. And he acknowledged no. Now, we'll see, does something like that change on Monday? I don't personally think so because, again, if they don't know if they want him on their team or not, they don't want him blowing out his Achilles inside the Don Hudson Center, and then they're on the hook for his entire salary, and they don't have him on the team because he's out for the year. So, there should be a deadline, but if you're asking me what the true deadline would be, I would say when they report to training camp, right? Because by then they will have to have decided, okay, we definitely want him on the team, or we definitely don't, because we don't want to be having him report to training camp and telling him that he can't take part, or we would, I think I don't know this for certain, but I think they probably negotiated an agreement where they'll pay him his workout bonus even if he isn't actually working out during the off-season program. And if that's the case, then that's another sign of, well, we don't really know if we want you on the team, so we're just sort of going to leave you in limbo here. And this cannot go on forever, especially for someone who talks about this a lot. I hope it does not go on forever.
All right, Jason, this might be a little long-winded, and the questions might be a little
appreciate that.
Goofy. Okay. Carl Pickens. They trade him to Dallas. Is that more of a sign that Aaron Rodgers – what's his name?
George.
Jason, you know who I'm talking about.
I wasn't going to correct you.
Yes.
Carl Pickens.
Because he knew that we would.
Player back in the day. Yeah, that's true. Yes. This is George Pickens. I don't believe he's any relation to Carl or Slim.
He looks
Pickens
like a Carl, though. He looks like a Carl.
He does look like
he goes
Carl,
to
yes.
he goes to Dallas. Is that more of a sign that Pittsburgh knows Rodgers is not coming? Therefore, they know they're not really going to be relevant this year. Let's dump guys who are going to be owed a large amount of money. We're going to move on. They're not going to trade for Kirk Cousins because that's something the organization doesn't do. And there's a possibility that T.J. Watt becomes available because they don't want to pay him if he holds out. And then my feeling is like, okay, you screwed up one time on the guy and took – who was the guy that hurt his foot out of Wisconsin, Jason?
Vince Beagle.
Vince Beagle. You took Beagle. You screwed up. You took the wrong guy. Now you can right the ship, and there's a chance that they trade to get him. What do you think about that theory?
I think there's a lot to unpack there, Carl.
Okay.
First of all, I understand George Pickens is very talented. I don't dispute that. Is he so incredibly talented that you're willing to put up with whatever drawbacks or diva behavior, whatever difficulty he creates? I don't know that you are. And anytime a team parts ways with a guy with as much talent as he has, I start to find myself wondering, well, what's the deal here, right? Why would these guys not want him on their team? Because if they're going to get Aaron Rodgers, I would think you'd want both DK Metcalf or Eric Metcalf, if we're using older player names for these guys, and Carl/George Pickens. And so the fact that they don't makes me wonder what the thought process is behind that, right? So my gut feeling is that they know that George Pickens would drive Aaron Rodgers bonkers. And that they decided, hey, we got him DK Metcalf. We've got some other pieces. So I don't want to say that it makes it more likely that Rodgers is going there, but he just doesn't strike me as the detail-oriented Aaron Rodgers type of guy. When Aaron Rodgers did earlier this offseason work out in California with DK Metcalf, I just get the sense that this is a move that probably makes it more likely that they're getting Rodgers, and then less likely that they're going to. I understand lots of GMs, including the one that I cover, don't want to pay third contracts, and they see risk involved in that. But I'm not sure that I would ever bet against any of the Watt brothers. So if I'm the Steelers, ultimately I just cave on that and say, okay, this may be a little risky given his advancing age, but we're not going to give away a potential Hall of Famer because we don't want to pay him a third contract.
Jason, what can you tell us about the Canadian quarterback? In addition to how do you pronounce his last name?
Yeah, I don't know. I need to look that up. I've just written it. I haven't really talked about him much. Taylor, which is his first name. We got to watch out for those guys with two last names. I'll say this: he's a big dude. He does throw the ball. He's got a very live arm, as LaFleur said, and we got to see him do it. The problem is, we watched him throw passes to Sean Mannion, the quarterback's coach, one of the equipment guys, who's one of the newer guys, so I don't know him, and into nets. So we never actually saw him throw a pass to Matthew Golden or Savion Williams. Never threw a pass to a guy running a route, on the move. It was just all drill work. And, I understand Matt LaFleur's reasoning. I'm not here to second guess him. I'm just saying from a reporter's standpoint, I would have at least a little bit more to go on if I had seen them in a football environment beyond individual drills. And that is all that Taylor, the Canadian quarterback, did during my time watching him.
El Gersma, I'm just not sure which direction to go with the G, but they're saying that he will be competing with Clifford, the big red dog. So we got the Canadian quarterback and we got the big red dog who will be competing for snaps, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I would assume they plan on signing him. Now, here's the problem. He's got other opportunities. First of all, he'll be in Buffalo tomorrow because he's also been invited to try out at the Bills rookie camp. He was also a second-round pick in the Canadian Football League draft by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, maybe. And so it's not like the Packers are his only option. And then I think there were 12 other teams that invited him to come to their rookie camps, and he picked Buffalo and Green Bay. So just because the Packers like him and would like to sign him, if I'm him, I'm keeping my options open and figuring out where I've got the best shot.
Taylor Elgersma was a...
Is that Mel?
Hey, Elgersma. Wait, was that me?
That is
that was AI.
That is a fella from 519 Sports Online who had Taylor on to announce where he was committing to college.
Elgersma.
Well,
is that what he said?
He kind of breezes
A
through.
highly coveted prospect from London, and he's... Taylor Elgersma was a...
Grrr. All right. You know how we're going to remember that, Chewy? He's the Canadian quarterback.
So a pirate.
You got Grizzly Bears in Canada, and Grizzly Bears say Grizzly. That's how I'm going to remember Gersma.
Okay.
All right, Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us and wading through the nonsense with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yeah, I don't feel like I helped much, but thanks for having me.
Hey.
Jason, why are you going to Sun Prairie?
What?
Well, I'm actually on my way to Rockford. We're doing a show from the Hard Rock Casino there, so we're. I left my house at 5:15, and again, much respect to you guys. I don't know how you do it, but this is a long drive, and we're excited for a great partner, but it's a long drive, and it'll be a long drive home later today.
Jason Wilde. You can hear him on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning. Thanks, Jason.
Let me try this again. Take care. Be good.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion and artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, introduces the addition of a new, exciting sushi menu and its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate. You can learn more by going to stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Slowing down on northbound 43 right now from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. We've also got some delays southbound 41 now stretching back from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol. Northbound is heavy from Watertown Plank Road up past Burleigh almost to Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94 starting to see a little bit more of a delay east of 84th Street all the way to Holly Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Lots of sunshine, breezy at times, a high of 52 at the lake, 60 inland. Tonight, clear and chilly. Frost inland with the low of 38 at the lake, 33 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Mother's Day is almost here, and I've been thinking a lot about all the times my mom went out of her way just to make me happy. Honestly, I've lost count. All of the pickups from practice, help with the homework, the home-cooked meals. My mom is the best. That's why this year I'm returning the favor with the bouquet from the Books Company. And I got you 25% off of your order so you can send some happiness to your moms, too. Books aren't just any flowers. Their flowers are cut fresh from the best farms, so they're bigger, brighter, and last way longer. Some are even grown on the side of a volcano. Wow mom with a bright, happy bouquet, or go for the Books Flower subscription so she can get fresh blooms and major joy on repeat. It's also really easy. I pick my bouquet, delivery date, and done. And with 25% off, why stop with mom? Grab some for your wife, your auntie, and even grandma too. Mother's Day is May 11th, so hurry and order your Books now. Go to Books.com, use promo code Canty to get 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code Canty. Books, promo code Canty.
Bandana, check. Boots, check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So you mentioned Super Bowls and parties and how they don't go hand in hand, which again is an absurd comment by you two, but it's just one of many on the show.
Dumber thing that Chewy has said this morning. Super Bowls and parties don't go hand in hand, or cheddar is not a top 10 cheese.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. No Gabe today as he is competing in the Ringer, which is his 100 holes of golf for the MAC Fund with Greg Matzik and Stephen Watson. So again, if you want to contribute to Gabe's efforts, you can text golf to the Carbless Talk and Text line, GOLF, to 800-990-3776, and you will get a link to be able to contribute to his efforts. Very quickly, I just want to touch on what is being considered, deemed, I'm not sure, this breaking news, this new news. Again, I'm over-exaggerating here. But yesterday, ESPN.com put out a article on all the teams. NFL draft nuggets for every team's rookie class, executive reaction, draft room maneuvers, remaining needs. Well, they got none of that for the Green Bay Packers, by the way. Like, Green Bay Packers basically at this point are like a vault. They just don't have a lot of information going in or going out. But, of course, everybody wants to know what is going on with Jaire Alexander. So, Chewy, the nugget in that article for the Green Bay Packers was the Packers passing on a cornerback for the first 6 rounds seems to signify that Jaire Alexander is staying with the team, barring a unique trade offer or a contractual stalemate. The Packers and Alexander are working on a resolution that should materialize soon. A revised contract for Alexander, due $17.5 million in cash this year, to balance his injury history with his longtime status as an elite corner, might be the most sensible play. Yeah, no kidding. Haven't they been trying to do that this whole time? Didn't we hear early on that Jaire had his heels dug in? That he was not interested in a pay cut? No kidding, a pay cut is the logical solution. But I guess I was under the impression, too, that it wasn't happening because Jaire wasn't willing to move off of what his deal currently gives him.
Well, I'm sure his agent tried to shop him, and, you know, they probably had a heart-to-heart and say, look, dude, no one's going to pay you more than $10 million base. They're willing to sign you with a big incentive package, but you aren't getting a lot guaranteed, and your number is going to be a lot less than that 17 whatever. I just don't see, I mean, the Packers in these situations are so lowbally, right? That's the only thing that I would be concerned about with him staying, you know? Or another team might say 10. Packers, I don't know what they're saying. 5, 6?
Let me ask you this, though, Chew. Is the lowballiness, which, what a word, the lowballiness warranted in this case? Like, I could definitely make a case for, hey, man, you haven't been on the field that much. And we don't feel like you have earned. You always talk about guys getting upset when other guys are stealing from the organization. Could you justify them saying, hey, we want you around, just not at the number that you're currently pulling?
With Jair, he's in control, really, because in order for him to take less base money, you typically have to give him the opportunity to make more in incentives.
Sure.
Because I had the same thing in 2000 when I hurt my neck. They dropped my base to this, but in the end, if I played the entire season, I would have made more salary than I would have with the original contract. So they'll have to do something like that. It's just it's the starting point. Where do you start? You know? And then maybe he says, his agent, if he's doing his job, saying, well, look, Minnesota will give you 10 in base salary and the opportunity to make 18 with incentives. So that's why I think other teams are involved. And it's a dance. It's just how bad do the Packers want him back? Put it this way. They are a much better team with Jair if he plays 17 games, right? That elevates them when it comes to the chance of making the Super Bowl. Do I think they get there with him? No, but I could certainly with him, if he plays the entire season, they would have a chance, but I see them as an NFC championship type team. Not saying they're going to win it, but I could see with him them getting there.
What does your gut tell you, Chew, when you hear the word working on a resolution that should materialize soon? Because I got to be honest, my first reaction was not, oh, they're trying to come together on a deal. My first reaction was, resolution doesn't mean he's on the team. Joshy, what do you think? When you hear a resolution that should materialize soon, resolution doesn't mean he's necessarily going to be on the team.
Yeah, no, that's not how I took it at all. I took it as there's going to be a decision one way or the other with Jair Alexander. And I don't even know, and I don't want to question Jeremy Fowler's reporting. I think he's being told, like, sort of, we have been the entire offseason. Yeah, we're working on it. And there's the only deadline really is what, training camp, because you don't want to be in a situation where he ends up showing up and like forcing the issue more. You'd prefer that to be done before you start having people around and like it just. I'm having a hard time figuring out what exactly could be the holdup other than pure stubbornness from Brian Gutekunst.
Well,
like either you get the contract done or you don't. And if you don't, you release him. I know he's an asset and he might come back to bite you if he plays well in 2025, but you've made the decision. You would rather move on. That's clear. Now, if you come to a resolution and he agrees to the contract, I think that's great. I'd love to have Jair on here. I think the Packers are better. I think the Packers are better with him. But, like, bleeper get off the pot at some point.
And couple that with the fact that they're not letting him. Are they letting him on property? I know, didn't LaFleur say we're not going to let him go through
I don't think they can.
Any of the camps or anything? That's not a positive, but I thought resolution was a positive and not a negative.
Well, but resolution is just conclusion, right? Like, resolution means...
I could come to the resolution that, I don't think you should be... I don't know where I'm going to go.
You don't want to be here anymore.
Well, to me, it sounds like this is the Packers' number. You can go out and shop it, try to beat it,
Think about it this way, Chew. If you and a significant other were in conflict and you were coming to a resolution doesn't necessarily mean you stay together. Resolution could mean you guys decide that your differences are $2,000 and you go your separate ways. That's still a resolution to the conflict. It's just, you're no longer doing the thing together. Put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. This new report from Jeremy Fowler says the Packers and Alexander are working on a resolution that should materialize soon. Do you interpret resolution as Jair will be on the team, or do you interpret resolution as Jair will not be on the team? We'll put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning. I am curious what everybody thinks. My gut tells me he still will not. My gut tells me you can't have a guy on your team who you don't trust. Whether that's you don't trust him to be on the field when you think he can be on the field, whether it's you don't trust him to be able to handle things in a mature way, whatever the issues are, if you don't trust him, I think you find yourself better off without him than saying, well, maybe we can, salvage, X number of games at this percentage of play. I don't think he's going to be on the team. I think the resolution is him going somewhere else.
But the problem is if you lose one of those three corners for the year, you're in soup, man. You're in soup. You're in some soup.
And we'll talk about that as the show goes on, because there's another article out there talking about what are the biggest holes for each of the teams. And you got to think that cornerback, given how they addressed it or didn't, is still one of them. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Go ahead and weigh in on that on our Twitter account. Joshy is putting that up as we speak. We'll be right back after this.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Uh-oh. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
ESPN Wisconsin's Brian Balaga here for my new friends at Surfside. There's only one thing better than Surfside and golf, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonade plus vodka on the golf course. This golf season, there's no better drink to enjoy on the golf course. Surfside is light, refreshing, and made with real vodka and real brewed tea. Plus, there's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Cheers to hitting the fairway and cheers to Surfside. It's tea time. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He hates the ending of all comedies. Apparently doesn't like happy endings.
I love happy endings. Don't take it that far.
Muy bueno. Maybe that's a vote for Groundhog Day for you.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We've enjoyed having Professional Construction Inc. help us with our home projects. As you might know, my husband and I, we can only handle the little things around our house, and that's why we call PCI for the big things. Remodeling a basement, fixing a balcony. Heck, even when that woodpecker was putting holes in our siding, the team at PCI helped us through it. They can do the same for you. Mike and Michelle operate a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships, and they've been in business for more than 20 years, man. You don't get decades in an industry unless you're really good at your job. Learn more about PCI and see their work at professionalconstructioninc.com. That's professionalconstructioninc.com. Deal means he's on the team. Resolution means look how we put an end to this. Likely off the team, that says Allen in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Steve in the 920 says, don't you have to take into consideration what was said before the word resolution was brought up? Sounds like Jeremy Fowler thinks they will keep him, and he expects a resolution soon. I mean, I got to be honest with you, there just is a lot of smoke and mirrors around this whole thing. There's just not a lot of transparency. And I think, if I had to guess, they would prefer to get something for Jair, but it doesn't seem like that's going to materialize. And so, the Cat in the Hat said, I think they're going to have to move on. You know, again, maybe they will get him, Chewy, to agree to a lower number.
I just thought it was a positive, the way it was worded. That's the way I looked at it. And I think it's a good thing.
If Jair's on the team.
I think it's a good thing, yeah.
I will say this definitively. There has been, seemingly from Jair's camp, a push to make it seem as if he's returning from the Packers. And I don't know if that is an accurate description of what's happening between him and the Packers, or they are trying to get the fan base to believe that they're closer than they actually are. So if he doesn't end up a Packer, it would then be beneficial towards Jair. It seems like there's posturing here is what's going on.
I don't think there's any posturing. I think the Packers gave him a number. It's non-negotiable. Whether he wants to take it, that's on him. But my guess is his agent is probably trying to shop it to other teams. Packers said, hey, we want a decision in 2 weeks.
I think that's fair.
Either take it or leave it.
I think your assessment of the situation is fair. I think it is possible that that's how it shakes out. They've given him a number and said, this is the best we can do. We want you on the team, but it's at this rate. Are you willing to do that? And to your point, Shu, maybe there are incentives locked in there. But you also had mentioned a few weeks ago that if he had a workout incentive in the contract that currently exists, they couldn't keep him from doing that, even though it seems like they might be keeping him from doing that, right? Wasn't there some there's a workout bonus in his contract?
$700,000, yeah.
But he hasn't gone in the past, so maybe they're leaning on that as well. You haven't gone to the workouts in the past and collected the $700,000, so we just assumed that you weren't going to do that this year.
I also think if you're looking to get a contract from the Packers, because that you aren't going to do what Jair's doing right now if you don't think probably the most money you can make in 2025 is still with the Green Bay Packers. You kind of have that conversation I won't come to workouts, I won't be a distraction, but I expect that money on the back end through, some sort of other incentive.
Yeah, and if he continues the pattern that he's had over the last couple of years, they'll just cut him. They'll say, you know what, we rolled the dice, didn't work. Cut him. He made $6 million, and we're done with him. And I'm sure they're going to tell him that. But he hasn't listened before. That's the problem. So, I mean, it's all about, is his talent worth the headache?
Is it?
What
do you think?
I think it is. I think it is. The fact that position is a little depleted and you have an injury, they're done. You're done If you lose 2 guys, which happens, we see it with offensive linemen quite a bit. You lose 2 guys, pack your bags. Because that is probably, it's either 2 or 3 when it comes to most important positions on the team. Obviously, quarterback's one. So it's defensive line and then cornerback. And I would lean towards cornerback. You're done. You're done.
Well, that is a very good segue into our next segment, which was that the ESPN.com put out an article saying these are the biggest remaining roster holes, and they did pick one of those for Green Bay. Chew. We'll talk about that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Got delays, that's for sure. Northbound on 894. We've got backups from before Beloit Road all the way up to National. More delays then from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Capitol, actually up to Silver Spring. Southbound is heavy from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. And then eastbound 94, you got backups from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Then it opens up, you're okay into the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, open Wednesday through Sunday, with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, lots of sunshine, breezy at times, a high of 52 at the lake, 60 inland. Tonight, clear and chilly. May have some frost inland, a low of 38 at the lake, 33 inland. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and window shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You gotta do is put up. Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Milwaukee. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. With special guest, Marcus King Band. No sleep until the world was. Fiserv Forum, Friday, September 26th. Get tickets Friday, May 9th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. Live at Fiserv Forum, Friday, September 26th. Get tickets Friday, May 9th. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Bruston Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news?
Bad, always bad.
What do you mean always bad?
No bad on Friday either.
What?
That's a rule of ours.
Gentlemen, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news. The good news is we found your Mercedes. That's great news.
That's great.
Yeah, it's over at Impound right now.
No bad news
Nope.
on Friday?
No.
What do? You just hold it?
You wait till Monday.
Wait, so if I die, they can't tell you till Monday?
Yeah. Gabe's not going to be here today.
The bad news is we can't get you in front of a judge until Monday morning.
You stole a police car.
We didn't steal anything. We found it.
If anything, we deserve a reward or something, like a trophy.
But they'll tell me Monday morning in the
And you'll be
production
like,
meeting.
how did it happen? When did it happen? And we'll be like, well, it happened on Thursday.
I see like you every day.
Every day.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Yeah, woo!
Let's steal a cop car because it'd be really funny.
Yeah, think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here.
Not up in here.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
Before we get to the biggest post-draft roster holes for all 32 NFL teams, and the Green Bay Packers, spoiler alert, is on the defensive side of the ball, according to ESPN, I want to talk about this situation. So, let me make sure I understand this correctly. Joshy, if you go to a store and you use cash and somebody gives you a boatload of coins back, you are giving them back to the cashier? Am I following this logic correctly?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I don't want to diminish the value of money.
Okay, but go ahead and diminish it.
I also don't like clutter. I don't like things jingling in my pockets. I don't want to be the guy when you walk by, you hear cling, 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 cling. I hate it. If I'm given like 54 cents and change, I'm dumping that right back in the leave a penny, take a penny thing and just walking out and going on my merry way. I don't want all that change in my pocket. I don't want it in my car.
You don't want to be responsible for
So
it.
you have no change in your car, Joshy?
No. There is nowhere in my... What do I need change for?
Because this is what I do, okay? In all the cars, I have change. No, I have change. So when it gets to be too much, I put it into a Tupperware thing, right? And then I tell the kids, well, I used to. I don't anymore because they're off scholarship. Well, none of them are off scholarship, really. But I used to be like, okay, here's the tub of change. The person that is closest to how much is in there gets the cash. So then I bring it to the bank, and the bank has, one of those big coin eaters.
Yes.
And then I would disperse it to whoever it was.
Here's the thing also. A lot of banks don't have coin counters anymore. I've encountered this more than one occasion. Even once to the point where I had a bunch of change, brought it in, and they told me, well, you have to count it out yourself using this little tray.
What?
And you have to put them in these sleeves, and then we'll take them and take them from the swear.
That is insane.
Yeah. And since that point, this was probably now almost 10 years ago, I've decided I'm going to mostly ignore change. I don't want it. I don't carry cash all that often, so it seems even more burdensome to have it around. Like, I just don't want it. And especially in the situation, this came up because somebody got 99 cents in change. I'd feel disrespected.
Really?
You spent all that time getting all those coins out of there? Just find a penny.
What is all those coins? Quarter, dime. 1, 2, 3, 4 pennies.
Was that 9 coins? Get that out of my life. I don't want to be walking around with 9 coins.
I will tell you this. This is timely because yesterday I told you guys I went on the field trip to the museum with the 4Kers, and there was a fountain. I don't know if you guys have been to the public museum recently. Obviously, they're putting the new one up. Just got a new name and everything. We saw that, the Museum of Wisconsin. But they have a wishing well in the butterfly exhibit. And if all of those kids didn't come up to me asking for coins so they could make a wish in the wishing well, I had pennies and nickels and dimes in the bottom of my purse, so I dug around in there, got a boatload of lint and all the other stuff that collects itself in the bottom of your purse, but I found enough coins for all the little kiddos to be able to do their wishes in the wishing well. That's what coins are good for, wishes.
So your appeal to me to respect change is in the event I take 4K children to a field trip that so happens to have a fountain, I would then find it useful.
I wouldn't say it's an appeal. I'm simply saying that yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, I actually needed coins. I'm not saying I'm not a coin fan. I don't love having coins.
I think you're disrespecting the value of money and change more by saying I flip it into the fountain.
Is there a difference between a wish and a prayer? Prayers are much cheaper.
I think it's who it's directed to.
Seems like a rather deep conversation.
I think it's who it's directed to, right? Prayers go to like saints and gods, and wishes go to fairies and I don't know.
But I bet prayers are way more successful than wishes.
Who can say?
No, I'm saying they are. And wishes cost you money. It's just cheaper to pray. Right?
Yeah, but if you follow Joshy's logic, those coins don't mean anything anyway.
Also, when
so
I
you may as well wish away
and make a wish.
Well, this sounds like that Seinfeld episode now, right? Where they're pulling out their eyelashes to make wishes, and they're stealing birthday wishes to make wishes. Drop dead. I wished for you to drop dead. That's what it
The
sounds
stink
like we're
eye?
doing right now. Listen, generally speaking, Joshy, I'm with you. I am not a coin fan. I find them cumbersome as well. And I don't really have a coin purse. And when I did have a coin purse, oh, by the way, that sucker would weigh like 3 pounds, right? And
You guys are wrong. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. You're wrong. Josh, you talk about how you lose $1,000 because the player didn't do what he did. When I bring that coin thing in, it's been in the 300s before. So you're just throwing money away. I mean, it probably takes a year to get to 300, but you know what? That's a nice little payday.
But only if you're using cash regularly, Chew. I think
I
that
use
the number,
cash all the time.
I know you do, but I think the number of people who are is dwindling.
I would say when I use cash and get change back, it's probably 10 to 12 times a year. Because if I have cash, I'm most often...
So like once a month.
Explicitly spending it on something, and I have near the same amount, and I usually get like whole dollars back. It's very rare that... What often happens is, you know, I need $50, but you can only get 60 out. So I have $10. I go to the gas station, buy something that then requires change, and I'm like, what am I going to do with 18 cents?
Yeah, but what do you do? Like, you guys, cash, you guys are not taking full advantage of cash. Because when I have a service done here, a lot of times they're like, well, if you pay in cash, you only owe me this much.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that happens, you know, where you can get a cash discount. But I would also say that you're not taking advantage of all that credit offers. You know, I get cash back. I pump at Costco with my Costco card, and I'm getting 5% cash back. If I go to, you know, wherever, you're getting cash back on a lot of those purchases.
Really?
Yes. That's the incentive of using your credit card.
You just learn about cash back right here. When we first taught you what a debit card
You're like
was.
Jennifer Garner over here, Capital One. What's in your wallet?
What do they give you back? What do they give you back?
I don't know.
Paper money, like cash.
No, it's like it's an amount of value you can either put into a checking account if you would like, or you just put it towards your credit card bill.
All right, let me ask you this, because this is like... I always go to Quick Trip. I have a Quick Trip gas card. I'm getting a benefit from that?
Yeah, I mean, I believe literally it's giving you money off. It's like 2 cents a gallon or something.
All right.
We got reaction
What's
rolling
going
in.
on here? How are you
I didn't
using
know.
card and not knowing what's going on? Angie just hands it to you and says, use this.
Yes, basically.
So
yeah.
she knows.
Chewy is like a broken clock that's right twice a day. He is right about coins. That from AC and Tosa. I'm like Chewy. I'm old. We like change. But Josh has coin arrogance.
Yes, definitely has. Coin arrogance. Make sure we tell Gabe that one.
I'll put it down here. I'll happily admit to coin arrogance. I'm coming out and saying I have coin arrogance. I understand why people need them. I also think getting rid of change is disadvantage to specific types of people that it wouldn't be nice to do. I personally don't like change. And when
you don't like change, but you get upset when someone gets 99 cents instead of $1 back.
No, he's saying keep your 99 cents or give me the full $1.
Yes.
Oh.
Because he's saying he'd rather have the bill in his wallet than the change in his pocket.
Okay.
How do you feel about coins? Are you out on coins? This is so interesting to me because Joshy said, don't hand me. He's like, if you're going to hand me coins back at the register, it better be 2 or 3 tops. Don't hand me more than 3 coins. If it's more than 3 coins, go ahead and keep it. Or, like you said, round up to the nearest dollar.
100%.
Make it square with the find a penny, take a penny.
I'm even cool with rounding up to 10 cents, to 25, 50. Like, if it's a nice, easy number, fine, I'll take 3/4. I can live with that.
What's the worst number then? I'm thinking it's got to be like 19 cents. You get a dime, a nickel, and 4 pennies.
Yeah. Yes, so it holds the least value but has the most amount of clinging and clanging in your pockets.
So you just want the penny gone, the nickel gone, probably even the dime gone.
Just go to quarters?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
I think rounding to quarters would be great for everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind paying an extra 6 cents if it just meant it was rounded.
Isn't it a sales tax thing? Isn't this where we're getting all jammed up? The sales tax is what adds the uneven numbers. There are places that actually price their things with their price is a weird number because they know that when they add the sales tax, it'll bring it to an even number, and that's just much easier to deal with.
They do that. With the price you see,
of course they do.
Yeah, the price you see on the shelf is the price with the taxes. So you don't have to do mental math on it. It is $3.19 after taxes, or euros in this situation.
Clint says, Jen, tell those wishers you can wish in one hand and poop in the other. See which hand fills up first. Out on coins and out on wishes over there from Joshy DiMaggio. How do you feel about coins? Let us know. 800-990-3776. And this is because somebody got 99 cents in coins, in change, and threw a fit at the store. And Joshy says, yeah, I would have done the exact same thing.
Disrespect.
The disrespect of handing me my change, 99 cents in change. Looking for a home can be a lot of things, stressful, time-consuming, and, of course, expensive. But looking for a home should actually be an exciting chapter in your life. The We Sell Group at Keller Williams knows this. Their passion is people, and they are helping us find a lake house this summer here in Wisconsin. And here's what I've learned in my short time working with the folks over at the We Sell Group. They are knowledgeable. They are approachable. They are available. If you're looking for a lake house, or maybe you're looking for a first-time home, or heck, maybe you are selling your house, Rob and Nick at the We Sell Group are helping every step of the way. The We Sell Group's selling process makes sure that the best and most competitive offers always are made on your home. So get started on a stress-free journey today with the We Sell Group at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Slow speeds on southbound 41 from about Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound, heavy from Watertown Plank Road up to about Hampton. Eastbound 94, we got your backups from 84th Street through to 35th. The westbound side slowing down from 13th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes just west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. Southbound 43, a little bit heavy right through the Capitol Drive to Keefe area. Northbound is backing up from the Marquette up to Keefe. And a little bit of a backup on the bypass heading eastbound, basically between Forest Home and Loomis. You're on and off the brakes the whole way. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, lots of sunshine, breezy at times, a high of 52 at the lake, 60 inland. Tonight, clear and chilly, frost inland possible, a low of 38 at the lake, 33 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Kessler's has diamond pendants for Mother's Day.
Diamond pendants for only $148.
Mother's Day celebrates motherhood.
And it's always appropriate to give a Mother's Day gift to a mom.
Diamond pendants for only $148.
Your mother is a mother.
Your wife may be a mother.
Your girlfriend may be a mother.
Your sister may be a mother.
Your grandmother's certainly a mother.
You might even have a coworker who is a mother.
Motherhood needs to be celebrated.
Always.
You heard the part about the $148, right?
Giving a diamond pendant to a mom who wasn't expecting it is one of the greatest joys you'll ever experience.
The surprise on their face when you say Happy Mother's Day is worth 10 times the price you paid.
They'll remember that gift forever.
And you will, too.
Welcome to Kessler's, where you can buy a diamond Mother's Day pendant for just $148.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The other side of the world, and I'll let you know if I want to come back and coach your little game.
He's Jay Peterman.
Ian Rappaport tweeting yesterday, and I thought this was interesting. The Broncos the last few weeks. You guys done?
I got more.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Don't change the show.
Reaction rolling in fast and furious on the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776. Ian in the 262 says, if I'm at a restaurant, I will keep the change and leave $1. I'm sure it's more convenient for the waitress, and the change goes in my piggy bank. It's nice to get that few $100 back when I cash it in. It feels like free money. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, AC and Tosa says, Josh, if the bill is $10.54, if you give $20.54, you get $10. If you give $20, you get coins back. You have coins to avoid coins. Ooh, now that feels like some sort of strategic chess versus checkers type of thing that AC and Tosa is trying to get you to adopt.
In that situation, I'm now just permanently carrying and clanging change around in my pockets for the potential that I will have the exact amount in my pocket to then not receive change back. No, just do away with it. Keep your change. Give it to somebody who needs it.
Let's go out to the phone lines, 800-990-3776. Howard in Sherman Park, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Are you pro-change or anti-change?
Well, I'm pro-change. I have a Guinness bank, and when it's full, I turn it into Guinness.
You take it to the bank, you get some cash, then you go buy some beer. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yeah, well, yeah, that feels like free beer. But, you know, the Wauwatosa guy just agreed with my point. If the guy's got, or the person doesn't want 99 cents, give the clerk a penny and they'll hand you back $1. And if you don't have a penny, you deserve 99 cents in change.
All right, fair enough.
I do want to add to that. Howard seemingly agreed with me without doing it by saying, you deserve 99 cents. He views it, even himself as a pro-change guy, as burdensome to receive 99 cents back. I think that makes my point as good as any.
I think it's generational.
Maybe.
Most older people agree with me, younger. Because you guys are path of least resistance, Josh. You're not grinders. I talked about it the other days. We grind. Having change is grinding.
How?
You're just not into grinding. Because you got to carry it around. You know, you got to go somewhere. Like I said, you complain about losing $1,000 because someone didn't get a rebound or whatever. But I'm telling you, us old-timers.
I'm having a really hard time drawing the connection between losing a bet and me receiving change.
Oh, well, also when you consider the fact that then you won the $1,000 by beating Craig in March Madness. So I feel like that $1,000 you lost from not hitting the parlay sort of a moot point here.
I also only lost like $6 in that $1,000 bet.
Oh yeah, you bet $6
Right.
to win 1,000,
and I was a half
you missed
of a
out
rebound or
on the
point away
parlay.
from
That's
1,000.
right. Yes,
Yes.
But the fact that you're discarding change means you're losing out on $300, $400, $500.
I think what he's trying to say, Joshy, is the change represents the half rebound, right?
Yeah.
Like the change is the minuscule, small details that ultimately get you to a full dollar, just like the rebound gets you to the win.
So you're not picking up change if you see it on the ground?
Hell no.
Ew.
Oh, my goodness
That's
gracious. The only way I'm not picking it up is if it's tails. If it's tails, I will not pick it up.
Okay, so sitting
But
here
if it's
acting like
heads-
his logic is off, and then you're going, I am definitely picking up coins on the ground unless, by some chance, one of the two sides is up, and then I am walking away.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to task myself with this project for the rest of the year, the however many months we have, 7 months we have remaining left in the year. I'm going to track how much change I keep or would have kept, because I can't promise you if I get 86 cents that I'm actually going to keep it, but I'm going to keep a running tally, and I guarantee you it's under $50.
So you're not going to drive-thrus and things like that?
Drive-thrus?
Yeah.
Well, even if there is a drive-thru, it's almost always done on the app. That gets you in faster. Like, if you go to McD's, Starbucks, you
No.
put a little in there right through the...
I
right through
literally
Apple Pay.
have never used the app on the Mickey D's. They always ask me, will you be using the mobile app today? And I'm always like, not today. Not ever.
It's lovely. You place the order ahead of time. You go to their little pickup. They bring it out to you. You don't have to wait in line.
That's
you just...
What? That's Path of Least Resistance. That's your new nickname. I'm just going to call you Path.
So
when I go to Cousins, I pay in cash.
So the point you're trying to make is I should go out of my way to be inconvenienced because there's value to it.
Well, because then he'll call you a grinder.
It's
that's
called
the
work
incentive.
ethic. Yes.
No. I'm going to do this the hard way, and then I'm going to tell Chewy about it so that he considers me a grinder. I got a lot of people weighing in on this, guys. I will tell you this also. I used to have a Ziploc baggie of change that, again, I would just, when I got change back, I'd throw it in the Ziploc baggie, and I kept it in the bottom of the Mary Poppins bag. All it took was one time going through TSA and them going, you can't carry a 5-pound bag of change. You could use it as a weapon on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Me going, okay. So now I don't do that anymore. Yeah. But that was a
the world is
stern talking to by TSA.
The world is telling you change is obsolete and it's waste of time. The banks aren't even taking it. I have to go. If you want to go, I have to go to, what are those things in the grocery store?
Oh, well, I'm glad you brought that up. The Coinstar machines.
Yeah, then they take a cut.
Well, they take a cut, and I've been getting emails for the past year from Coinstar. Somebody hacked my account and says, that they are withdrawing $600 from my account via Coinstar, and I have to always spam, phishing, spam every time it comes through. So somebody has figured out that that's a way to take advantage of people. Not this gal, though.
Chewy, when was the last time you took your change to be counted?
It's been a little while, probably 2 years. They got mad at me because I had buttons in there and different stuff that jammed the machine up, so they'd have to stop.
See? I think I'm coming out looking...
Why were you throwing buttons in the Tupperware, which clearly you had designated for coins?
No, the button fell into my cup holder in the truck, and then I just grab a handful and then throw them in the Tupperware thing, amongst other things. So
when were you wearing something with buttons?
That's a very good question. I have no idea.
Gabe's wedding?
Could have been.
When was the last time
I do remember this. When I was in college, to take the T, which is what the subway's called in Boston, it was 95 cents. And if we didn't have the 95 cents in change, we'd grab some buttons and then throw it in the front of the bus thing. And they never caught us.
Unbelievable. All right. I do want to get to this article. I want to get to this article about the biggest needs for each NFL team. Maybe you'll be surprised at what they picked for the Green Bay Packers. That's coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43 backing up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound just a little heavy from Capitol Drive down past Burleigh. Westbound 94, you'll see delays from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes from just west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. Eastbound 94, that's got some backups from 76th Street all the way through to 35th. Southbound 41 still heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side slow from Watertown Plank Road up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, lots of sunshine, breezy at times, a high of 52 at the lake, 60 inland. Tonight, clear and chilly, frost inland with a low of 38 at the lake, 33 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with a group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
A freaking catapult attached to his right hip. Like, I just made that up. A catapult.
That was good.
I kind of liked it. I was rolling with it, Rob.
Like a slingshot? Let's figure this out.
I'm calling old catapult leg from here on out.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of the $300,000 prize in cash or prizes. We will give you the rewards card for entries. Prize entries are Thursday. Unreal Treasures is this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. For more info, just go online to potawatomi.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play. All right, want to get to this list. Normally on Thursdays we do a little top 8 at 8 action, but no Gabe today because he is doing the Ringer event where he is playing his 100 holes of golf. So let's go to this list, which is biggest post-draft roster holes for all 32 NFL teams. Chewy, I already told you that it's on the defensive side of the ball. If you had to guess what ESPN.com thinks is the biggest hole for the Green Bay Packers, what is it?
Probably cornerback.
It is not cornerback according to ESPN.com. Now, I know that you feel, based on the Jair Alexander situation, Nate Hobbs, et cetera, what they have, Keyshawn Nixon at cornerback, they do still need to address it. But they are saying edge rusher. And I will tell you what they say. Rashawn Gary was the only Packers edge rusher with at least 5 sacks last season. Lucas Van Ness, the team's 2023 first-round pick, has been a disappointment. He's penciled in as a starter despite having only 7 sacks in his first 2 seasons. Do you think they have done enough this offseason to address that position?
No. Probably either position. Right? I mean, because we all thought that they would take a corner pretty high in the draft, and there were some available, actually, with their second-round pick, but they didn't address that.
They got Barron Sorrell in the 4th round, the kid out of Texas.
Yeah, I know, but he is a 4th-round pick, so I wouldn't count on him too much. It's just the problem is I don't expect much out of the D-line. I kind of think it'll be the exact same as last year. That's why your cornerbacks have to be a little stronger.
Woof.
Right?
That would be really disappointing.
But
to
then,
use the
like
word
I
that they
said,
used for Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah, like I said, that when you don't have a very good defensive line, it puts a ton of pressure on your cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right now, I think they can survive. But like I said earlier in the show, if they have any type of injuries there where they lose a guy or two, they're in trouble. So, I mean, and we talked about it a ton before the draft. They had 3 glaring needs: receiver, D-line, or rush edge guy, and cornerback. So,
what does your gut tell you about Lucas Van Ness? Because I got to say, it seems like the reason that the Packers front office feels comfortable standing pat is because they believe he, in particular, is going to make a jump. You don't draft a guy where they drafted him unless you think that he's going to be a productive member of society. Society, I mean your organization. But it might just be true that he is a rotational player at that position.
Yeah.
That he isn't going to be able to get to the quarterback consistently. Would you be okay with that if that's what he ends up being? Or because of where he was drafted, pick number 13, is that right? Oof.
Yeah, that's a swing and a miss. Oof. I see him as a one-trick pony. He's got one move, and that's a bull rush, and it is the easiest move to stop for offensive linemen. There's no wiggle. I think he was clearly a combine guy. I mean, the fact that he didn't even start at Iowa, should have been a red flag. But these GMs get caught up in this. They get caught up in combine numbers, and they don't draft football players. So it's just athletically, I just think he's stiff, and it's a big concern. But I was going through my head because I think they do it every year, Joshy, don't they? They rank all 32 teams when it comes to each position. So if you do that, and it's a little depressing because I don't think they're close. I think they are close to being a Super Bowl team, but they're not there yet. If you look at position by position, Jen, when these rankings do come out, quarterback will be in somewhere up to 12. Running back will be top 3. Offensive line will be top 8. Tight ends will be top 10. Your receivers will be in the 20s. Your D-line's going to be in the 20s. Your linebackers will be 12-ish. And your cornerbacks will be in the 20s. That's not a formula to win a Super Bowl. Would you agree with that?
I agree with your assessment. I think the tight ends are going to perform better than you think. I might actually go top 5 for tight ends this year.
Really?
Which, again, you're like, whoa, top 5. But start thinking, we've gone over these lists. Tucker Kraft has a chance to be a top 5. And again, he's not alone. You need Musgrave to hold up his end of the donkey as well. But I could see them, especially with the 2 tight end set that we are expecting to see from the Packers a little bit more this season, I could see that being a shining bright spot in this offense. But I guess I would ask you this, Chew. If Lucas Van Ness was drafted in the 4th round where Sorrell was, would you be okay with the production that you've gotten out of him? Is the disappointment for Lucas Van Ness almost exclusively because of where he was drafted? Or is it, at that position, you can't afford a rotational guy.
No.
You need somebody in there who is consistently on every down, and he is consistently getting pressure on the quarterback.
Based upon what I saw, he may be cuttable. See, Lucas Van Ness's thing, from a physical standpoint, he was ready to play as a rookie. You know, his what do they call it? His RAS was probably pretty high. And I've said it before. When I came in, I was not ready to play. You can't play tight end in the Packers offense at 238 pounds. So I was a project. He wasn't a project. He's a project athletically, but I don't know if he has the athletic ability to be athletic.
I don't know if he has the athletic ability to be athletic. You're going to have to walk me through that one, bud.
He's already grown physically. What do they call him? The Hercules when he first came in here?
Yes.
You know? So they had to work on the athletic side of it. Well, he hasn't gone anywhere athletically. He's still a stiff. He's still a bull rush. He has no moves. He got dominated by a tight end. You see what I'm saying?
Are you trying to say he's not?
I guess I'm just trying to say he's not an athlete.
It's like he's saying he has beach muscles.
Like, go back to, Aaron Campman, right? Well, you remember Aaron?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably a what? Fourth round pick?
I don't remember where Aaron Campman
Probably
was
around
drafted.
there, right? I mean, he
but I
wasn't
remember
a
him
first or a
being
second round pick.
Significant contributor on that defensive line.
Early on in his career, and when they drafted him, I'm like, this guy's an athlete, man. He's an athlete with a bunch of moves, but he's physically not ready to play.
Okay.
Right? I think, like I said about Van Ness, he was physically ready to play. He's just not athletic.
But Campman was a grinder, to use one of your terms.
He was a tryhard, but he was a great tryhard.
Relentless. I think you're using athletic in a weird way because we've seen his athletic. Like, he chased down Justin Fields, and that's athleticism. He doesn't know technique. He's not a technician. He's just muscles and speed and explosion, and there's no.
Yeah, but he may never get there, Josh. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, there were tight ends. I was the 11th tight end drafted in my draft, right? There were 2 taken in the first round, but they can't process. You can run a 4.4 as a tight end, but if you can't process fast enough, you're worthless. You're worthless because you have to process in a matter of a second and a half. You can't think. It just has to become natural to you. And to me, the way he looks to me is he thinks too much. His brain gets in the way, which is a problem when you play this game because it happens so quickly, And it happens at every position. Like if you're a receiver and you can't recognize cover 2 fast enough, average players can cover you. It's just the way it is. If you cannot process, you can't play.
So I have the depth chart in front of me, and I was telling Joshy it's a little tough to nail down because the Packers don't put the guys on the depth chart until they've signed, and ESPN is just guessing. Joshy said I should go to ourlads.com and go to the depth chart there. He said they project pretty accurately who is going to be where. They've got Rashawn Gary still starting at left defensive end. They've got Lucas Van Ness starting at right defensive end. They've got Kingsley Ngabari behind Lucas Van Ness, and they have Baron Sorrell right behind Rashawn Gary at left defensive end, followed by Brenton Cox Jr. And then we talked about Colin Oliver, which was the other kid that they drafted who we were talking to Jason about several weeks ago. I actually have real high hopes for the Baron Sorrell kid out of Texas. I got real high hopes for him. I read that article in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel about him where he was struggling in class at Texas and he couldn't make the office hours that the professor had to help improve his grade after he got a bad grade on a first test. So he set up Zoom meetings with the teacher, met with him every week because he wanted to get better. I know that doesn't always translate to the football field, but I like that sort of work ethic. I like that sort of, what do I need to do to get to where I need to be? That bodes well. That speaks volumes. And I hope it translates athletically as well. You guys know I'm a big fan of Texas, having covered them a lot in college. I hope that he is an impact player. Joshy, would you be surprised if Barron Sorrell is starting on the defensive line by the end of the season? Consistently, not rotationally.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I just think, well, this is multifaceted. There's a lot of guys at the edge. So the idea that they don't, like, that's a hole, I think is inaccurate. I think the hole is they just don't have the good enough.
They have a lot of bodies.
Right.
But it's like when we were talking about the wide receivers. If you got a bunch of twos, you know, we thought that might work out for them from a wide receiver standpoint. It's different, obviously.
Like, at some point, players just need to play. And you might not have the best options there, but somebody needs to elevate their play to some degree. I'm more concerned about the defensive tackle. Like, they've got a 6th rounder behind Kenny Clark, really, at that sort of nose-ish position in Warren Brinson. And then it's like Carl Brooks, who we've never seen play consistently, Devontae Wyatt, who we've never seen play consistently. I just view
they're committed to him.
Yes. I just view it as sort of somebody needs to elevate there. I think the depth, you can get rotational and creative enough there. I think Sorrell is going to play both inside at like a 5 technique-ish and as an edge rusher eventually. I think
the problem
35% of snaps, 40% of snaps, you'd hope to see him on the field.
The problem is this: if you look at all 31 other teams, newspaper clips, websites, all this stuff, they all have someone they're gushing over. Am I right? If you went to Cincinnati's, they're probably talking about their 4th. This guy could be a difference maker. He could be unbelievable. You know, it's just what everyone does. They gush about these guys. We will not know until he gets onto the field.
I'd give anything to have a guy who had shown me reason to gush.
Yeah.
I think right now we're just hoping that this position in particular, because we saw how much they underperformed last season, we're hoping that the addition that they have is going to elevate the group as a whole.
Yeah. And you know what? We're not going to find out in training camp. You're just not. The way they run training camp now, that's why we have the tag all Oneida, you know? And we fell for it last year with the D-line. Oh, you see Rashawn Gary in helmets? No one could block him. Well, it doesn't translate. You know? That's why pump the brakes on the gush, right? I mean, I know we all want this, but we just have to wait, right?
We are waiting. We just got to fill the time between now and then.
No, I know, because they gushed about these receivers, and these receivers just plateaued. So
a weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune in to Hear District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, are 1995 UCLA hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. And they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Hear District on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Elwoods, Milwaukee, Spanky's Waterford, Oak Barrel Tavern, Milwaukee, Camp Bar Wauwatosa, and J&B's Blue Ribbon, Milwaukee. That's Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. The summer months are all about activity, but you can't experience that activity if you have pain in your joints. QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for that joint pain. Don't just take my word for it. There's over 50,000 satisfied patients nationwide. It's truly remarkable how Milwaukee's medical direct, Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore that tissue in your achy joints. They're utilizing biological growth factors, things I've seen with my own two eyes at the Greenfield location. It's a powerful and potent way to give new life to your joints, repairing that old tissue that's causing all the pain. And the best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Give yourself the gift of pain-free living and lasting relief with QC Kinetics so you can do all the things you enjoy this summer. Get your free consultation today by calling QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Are you going to answer the question?
What's the question?
Can the Packers win without Aaron Jones on Sunday?
Yes. Will you stop? You know what he is? He's like the little devil on the shoulder.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we want to make sure that everyone is taking care of their well-being and breaking the stigma, because the world is a better place when you are here and you are healthy and happy. Mental health awareness is growing, but there is still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey said that they avoid seeking mental health support because they worry about what other people will think. That is tough. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties. And guys, you can do it in the privacy of your home. BetterHelp is available online. They will match you with a therapist. That therapist can help you through the things that you are going through, the things that you struggle with, the things that stress you out and make you wonder if it's all worth it, and even things that might not feel that significant. I have been going to therapy for 10 years. It has helped me tremendously. And if I were to use BetterHelp, I know that it would help me through these situations as well. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout to get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com. That's /timeout, code word timeout. BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. If you need help, because the world is a better place when people are healthy and happy and here. Let's check out the polls from today. First thing we asked, are you expected to get your wife, the mother of your children, a gift for Mother's Day? 65% of people, too, are saying yes, of course, while 35 said no, she's not your mother.
Well, you didn't have to put the mother of your kids in there. That's a little skewed there, Josh.
I think that's who the person is, right? Like,
what I was trying to say is she might not be your wife, but she's at very least the mother of your children in this situation.
and if you get her that cutting board thing with the quotes,
it's already bought. It's already done.
Why would you do that?
Because everyone loves cutting boards.
Oh,
everyone
my
needs
gosh.
cutting boards.
Horrible. What did it even say on it? I don't even have it pulled up.
Did you see what it
anymore.
costs? Did you see what it costs?
Yeah, it's like $16.
Yeah,
$16.99. Recipe for a special wife.
That's what
my love
the mother
bug?
of my children should get
What
from
is
her
a
spouse.
what is a love bug? That's what it says. Never forget that you are my best friend, my soulmate, my love bug, my companion.
I think you're walking a fine line here of that gift so bad it might be worse than not getting a gift. Because
I needed a cutting board.
Why? Then get a nice one.
Yeah.
And just say, this is the cutting board we're using from now.
What is a nice cutting board? It's wood.
There's
Cutting board is a cutting
It doesn't
board
have
is a
to have
cutting
all those
board.
words on it. That
corny stuff.
recipe for a good life or whatever it was. I will tell you this also, guys. This is another life hack. Go into your wife's shower or bathroom or her area and see what she's running out of. Does she have a favorite shampoo and conditioner? You can say, hey, I noticed you were running out of your favorite shampoo, so I picked some up for you. That gesture alone goes such a long way of, I noticed you were running out of your thing. Because I'm going to tell you, she's always noticing when the things are running out.
Question.
Yeah.
What if the things are well over like 10, 15 things, and multiple of them are about half full? What do
Just
I
one
just
thing.
pick one?
She use a face lotion? Does she use a face wash? Does she use a? Is there a lotion that she really likes?
Yeah, but that runs out. The cutting board will never run out. She'll look at it in 5 years and go, "Oh, isn't my husband so
No,
sweet?"
you're not hearing me. It's the gesture of, I noticed you were running low on your favorite blank, so I picked some up for you. That's the gesture. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I can't cancel it now, so she'll have to wait till next year.
I think you can, actually. I think you can go on there
For
and
sure,
cancel
you
it.
wouldn't get charged for it.
Yeah, they would. Somehow they'd charge it.
It's about 50-50 on the poll if Jair will be a Packer or won't be a Packer. So that saga continues. I'm sure Wilde and Tausch will do their very best not to talk about it, but we'll end up having to talk about it.